Hi, I'm Casey with Foundations Decor, and today I'm going to show you a fun little project that we do with some of our wood decorations. We've shown you in another video how to take the home sign and create seasonal things, but we also want to show you that these can be standalone products as well that are perfect for decoration seasons like St. Patrick's Day. Not a lot of great stuff out there for St. Patrick's Day until now, so why don't we show you how to decorate that, where it can work with our home block banner as well as a standalone product in your home. So let's get started. First, here is our raw product, okay? Sitting out here on the table, as you can see. Just a few pieces of wood. This is our radiata pine, again, that comes pre-sanded, ready out of the box. You don't have to do cleanup. And then our MDF laser cut pieces as well, so that every time you order these things, they're going to be the exact same. That means you can pre-cut or do whatever you want if you're going to make them for several members of your family, if you want everybody to have the same piece of decor in their home. That means you can do them all at once and don't have to worry about the cuts being off. So let's get started. We're going to pull this apart. Of course, they always come adhered together, and that allows it to not move around in packaging and stuff. We're going to pull out our files here. We're just going to get rid of those, okay? Hopefully you can see that. It comes right off with the file. Just like that, it's cleaned up in under a minute. So now on this project, we're going to be doing a couple of things. We really like the paint look with our wood. I think it works out just great. So we're going to add some paint, but as well as some paper, because paper always brings out some life in a project. So we're going to throw that together as well. What we want to do is first trace any pieces that you want to have paper on it in case they get paint on them or what have you. You don't want it to mess up the other papers. So that's what we'll do first. We're going to make a small X on the front side of each of these items, okay? You usually want to do that very first so that you don't run into any problems. Again, feel free, I say this in everything I've ever done and ever taught in any classes or anything I've done. Feel free to make this your own. We're not here to force you into servitude to make our projects. You can do them however you want. We don't mind. So now that I've got my X's on all the wood pieces, okay, we're going to trace, and we're going to be using this side of the paper, okay, right there. So we want to have an X on this side. Line up the X's. We're just going to trace this piece out, X to X. And again, don't worry too much about having a steady hand on this trace. It just doesn't. We're going to show you some tricks here in a second that shows you that doesn't matter much. See, just like that. You didn't need to have too steady of a hand. And while we've got our pencil out, let's just trace the other pieces as well. Now we got our tracing done. Okay, now before we cut that, just because it takes a while for paint to dry, not a while, it's usually 5 minutes or so, but that'll give us just enough time to cut those out while we're waiting on this. Now, the side we've X'd, we know that paper we just traced is going on there. We don't need to worry about that painting that side as much. It'll just save a little bit of paint for you. But what we do want is, since this is a home decor piece, we want to cover the sides and the back. So when people come in and they pick it up and say, whoa, what's this? You know, it just gives it a little bit more bang for the buck when you've got people looking at it. I'm taking our foam paintbrush. Any paintbrush will do, but the foam ones, super inexpensive, easy to use. Everybody knows how to use a foam brush. So you can get those at Scrapbook.com, just like any of our tools we're going to show you here today. Okay, I'm just cleaning off the edges now, making sure there's no run spots or problems. This is where you've got to be very delicate. Check for any spots that might be running and just give them a quick rundown. Make sure there's nothing sticking out. Right here, I see that maybe I could use just a little bit more paint to smooth it out. So we just throw a little bit more on there. It's not going to hurt anything. While that's drying, we're going to go ahead and cut now the shapes that we wanted to use on our project. A good idea when you're cutting here, make sure you stay well outside the lines. We're not going for any perfect cutting awards, right? Because we need enough extra to cover our entire project. We have ways of cleaning it up after. Again, like I said, make sure you go really dark with this black paper because it's kind of hard to see your line when using a pencil. Sometimes it's easier on these smaller pieces to just, I mean, this isn't rocket science, but just to give yourself some room to work. And then you can cut again. We had to take a quick break, let some paint dry here. We ended up having to also, we like to do this, and it's definitely not necessary, but on the thicker MDF pieces of wood, you know, we just like to ink the edges or just use some sort of green or black paint. Just to, it just kind of makes it seem a little more seamless when you've finished the project. Again, not a requirement, but something we wanted to do real quick. So we've added that. Now our paint's dry. We're ready to get rolling here. Now what we need to do, remember we made those X's on the back side of the paper and on the top side of the wood piece. Those X's now need to join together. So what we're going to do is just use adhesive. Any adhesive will do, but it does need to be fairly decent coverage because you want to make sure you get all the edges of the paper. To do so, make sure you're going on the wood piece. It's not necessary, but again, it will save you a little bit of heartache in the end if you just put the adhesive to the wood piece, because you need full coverage at least to the edges of the wood. Say, well, just do one piece at a time. So we got our X, we've got our X, put them together. Okay, apologize for that break. We had to let this glue dry, and it didn't take very long at all. But we figured you didn't want to sit there for 45 seconds while it happened, because that would be weird. What we're going to do next, I told you you want to leave that paper real wide of the mark, right? And that is so that we can give it a good clean edge with our files. This is our large paper file here. These big blocks, the large paper file works great. You just start cranking through that, and usually if you use the edge of like a table to brace it, you can really get abrasive with it. So that's just a helpful hint, but not necessary. As you can see, I'm doing this in midair. You see it just peeling away and giving that clean edge. You clean that off like that, and we've got a nice clean edge there now. And we'll just go all the way around this. And don't worry if you scuff up the wood a little bit. You can either touch it back up with paint. You can use an ink. A lot of times we'll just ink the edges at the end of something. Look at that. Oh, it's so cool how that just peels right. This is the most satisfying part of the whole project for me. I love when something messy becomes something clean. Like, I literally can't wait to wash these hands. So see how I kind of went around the outside? This one's a little easier because it's got more coverage. But what we do have, and what's really nice, we have these 3 precision files, 3 different sizes. I feel like that's scooting back a little bit. 3 different sizes. The best one for some of these inside grooves is our feather file, and because it can kind of just do a V cut right into any space. Almost as narrow as you can make it, right? And just start cleaning up some of this. We also have these, this is our small circular file, and they can kind of get in there as well for these ones that are a little bit more rounded in edge. Now for some of the finishing touches to finish off this project. I told you we're going to build it up, but what you might want to do first, and we've done it both ways in the past, is go ahead and ink the edges just to give it a little bit more pop. Since this is a darker project as far as the shading goes, we're just going to use a little bit deeper brown, and I'm going to go right here. We're not even going to worry about little daubing mats. We're just going to give it a little bit of a pop, okay? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that much. Just a little pop. You can use whatever color. Green looks great on this. We've used green before, like a forest green that's kind of deeper. If you wanted to, you could take a black and go right around these edges here. But again, this is just to kind of hide the white. that's showing from the white core paper. Now for just throwing it together and putting the adhesive on and the finishing touches, you'll notice how it's supposed to fit together. That's because we've already put our paper on it. So if you have it ending up this way, you know you've got it backwards. So flip it this way. That'll be the first piece we throw on there. I would recommend a little bit more sturdier glue for this part. Like Tombow liquid glue works great. And that's just because this is two wood pieces coming together, a little bit bulkier, not just paper. You're welcome to either fan that out with your finger, or you can just easily do this so it doesn't mash out the edges. And just adjust that until it looks like it fits in place. That feels right. Now you grab your clover and you go, where do I like that? Maybe here, maybe here. You could do it up off the top of the hat. A lot of times we just put it here. This isn't as essential that you get it out to the edges because we don't need it to hold the paper in place anymore. But you do want to use enough so that it doesn't, come off of there. And so while that dries, it's this easy. This has become this in just a matter of minutes. I'm using this one now because it's dry and I can play with it a little bit more. That has become this in just a matter of minutes and works perfect with something like our home or as a standalone product or project that you can do for St. Patrick's Day. And go to Scrapbook.com to see all of our other pieces that will fit with the home or that are just standalone products that are beautiful little accents to home decor around the house. And we've even challenged a young girl, 9 years old, Addie, to put this project together so you can see how easy it is. And we're going to see if she'll post the pictures when we're done to see just how she did. Anyway, that's all for this class from Foundations Decor. We hope you enjoyed your time. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message. Happiness is life handmade.